What if I told you that one of the most divisive issues of our time, immigration, has roots stretching back thousands of years? That the struggles we face today echo ancient stories of displacement, hope, and the search for a better life. Immigration. It's a word that ignites passion, fear, and fierce debate. But beyond the politics and policies lies a deeply human story, one that has been unfolding since the dawn of civilization. Today, we are exploring this timeless issue through an unexpected lens: the stories of the Bible. And don't worry if you're not religious. These ancient tales have surprising relevance for all of us, regardless of faith. Let's start with a story you might not know. It's about a man named Elimelech and his family. They lived in Bethlehem during a time of severe famine. Desperate to survive, Elimelech made a difficult choice: to leave his homeland and seek refuge in the neighboring country of Moab. This tale from the book of Ruth mirrors the plight of millions today. Climate change, conflict, and economic hardship force families to make the heart-wrenching decision to leave everything behind in search of safety and sustenance. Consider the story of Maria, a farmer from Guatemala. Years of drought destroyed her crops, leaving her unable to feed her children. Like Elimelech thousands of years ago, Maria faced an impossible choice: stay and watch her family starve, or risk everything for a chance at survival in a foreign land. But Elimelech's story doesn't end with his arrival in Moab. His sons marry Moabite women, including one named Ruth. When tragedy strikes and the men of the family die, Ruth makes a radical decision. She chooses to accompany her mother-in-law Naomi back to Bethlehem, becoming an immigrant herself. Ruth's words to Naomi are breathtaking in their loyalty: "Where you go, I will go, and where you stay, I will stay. Your people will be my people, and your God, my God." This commitment to her adopted family and culture flies in the face of stereotypes about immigrants refusing to integrate. It reminds us that those who come to a new land often do so with a deep desire to contribute and belong. Take Dr. Alfredo Quiñones Hinojosa. He came to the US as an undocumented farm worker driven by dreams of a better life. Through sheer determination, he worked his way through school, eventually becoming a renowned neurosurgeon at Johns Hopkins. Like Ruth, Dr. Q, as he's affectionately known, embraced his new home while never forgetting his roots. But let's be real. Immigration isn't always a feel-good story. The Bible doesn't shy away from the tensions it can create. Remember the Exodus? The Israelites, once welcomed to Egypt as honored guests, eventually became viewed as a threat. Pharaoh, fearing their growing numbers, turned them into slaves and ordered the murder of their children. This cycle of hospitality turning to hostility is tragically familiar. We've seen it play out countless times throughout history, from the Chinese Exclusion Act in America to the current rise of anti-immigrant sentiment in many countries. The issue may decide who the next president of the United States will be. How do we break this cycle? How do we balance legitimate concerns about security and resources with our shared humanity? The Bible offers some surprising wisdom here. In Leviticus, we find this command: "The foreigner residing among you must be treated as your native-born. Love them as yourself, for you were foreigners in Egypt." This isn't just feel-good rhetoric, it's a practical recognition that societies thrive when they embrace diversity and treat all members with dignity. Studies have consistently shown that immigration, when managed thoughtfully, brings immense benefits. Immigrants often fill crucial labor shortages, start businesses at higher rates than native-born citizens, and contribute fresh perspectives that drive innovation. But what about illegal immigration? Doesn't that undermine the rule of law? It's a valid concern, and the Bible grapples with it as well. In the book of Numbers, we see strict rules about who can enter the Israelite camp and under what conditions. There's a recognition that boundaries and order are necessary for a functioning society. Yet these rules are balanced with a repeated emphasis on compassion. The Bible constantly reminds its readers to care for the stranger, recognizing the vulnerability of those far from home. This tension between security and compassion is at the heart of our modern immigration debate. There's no easy answer, but perhaps we can start by recognizing the humanity on all sides. For those concerned about illegal immigration, your worries about jobs, culture, and safety are valid. They shouldn't be dismissed. For those advocating for more open borders, your compassion and recognition of human dignity are vital. We need your voice. The challenge is finding a middle ground, policies that uphold the law while recognizing the desperation that drives people to break it. Some countries are experimenting with creative approaches. Canada's point-based immigration system aims to match newcomers' skills with economic needs. Germany has implemented integration courses to help immigrants learn the language and culture. These aren't perfect solutions, but they show it's possible to move beyond all-or-nothing thinking. Now let's talk about you. You might be thinking, this is all interesting, but what can I actually do? More than you might think. 1. Educate yourself. Look beyond the headlines. Seek out personal stories from immigrants in your community. Understanding breeds empathy. 2. Get involved locally. Volunteer with organizations that help newcomers integrate. Teach English, mentor job seekers, or simply be a welcoming presence. 3. Use your voice. Engage in respectful dialogue with those who hold different views. Share factual information to counter myths and stereotypes. 4. Support ethical businesses. Many companies are finding innovative ways to employ refugees and immigrants. Your consumer choices can make a difference. 5. If you're an employer, consider creating opportunities for qualified immigrants. You might just find your next star employee. Immigration will always be complex. There are no easy answers, but by approaching the issue with wisdom, compassion, and a willingness to see the humanity in each other, we can write a new chapter in this ancient story. A chapter where security and compassion coexist, where the rule of law is upheld but tempered with mercy, where we recognize that our differences make us stronger, not weaker. This is the world we can build together. One conversation, one act of kindness, one policy change at a time. What role will you play in this unfolding story? Share your thoughts and experiences in the comments below. If this video resonated with you, hit that subscribe button and share it with others. Together, we can change the narrative on immigration.